Welcome back, everybody, to another video. We are back with the next Marvel video, and in this video, we're going to be going over Moonknight episode 1. This episode was absolutely insane, dude, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit upset right now because I actually thought Moonknight releases with 2 episodes, episodes 1 and 2, but I was wrong, okay? Moonknight only has 1 episode with its release, and I have to wait a whole another week for episode 2, which is really annoying, because I think this show's first episode is probably the best starting episode out of any show in the MCU, which says a lot, because there were some quite nice starting episodes like Loki, and so, I don't know, it's a little bit annoying that we're gonna have to wait a whole another week for this episode, but basically Moonknight is literally so good. This episode was crazy and I had high expectations, but this exceeded all of them. Basically, Moonknight is about this main character by the name of Mark Spector, but his name is also Steven. He's basically an anti-hero, and one of his personalities is basically an anti-hero, which is really interesting, that one being Mark. And on the other side, Steven is kind of just a normal guy. He's antisocial, a little bit weird, doesn't really have a great job, his life kind of sucks. Basically, Mark kind of hates Steven. Now, keep in mind, these guys are 2 different people in the same body. I mean, they're definitely going to expand on this relationship more between the different characters, and I really like how they didn't wait whatsoever to reveal Mark. They just did it instantly in the first episode. The show is also pretty violent compared to normal MCU formula. Now, I wouldn't say it's gory like it was in Daredevil or Punisher, but it was actually a lot more violent than other Marvel TV shows so far, which is really nice because I feel like with a character like Moonknight, you can't really have the violence toned down. Like, that just doesn't work. It's like if you told Daredevil to be PG-13. It just can't happen. It wouldn't work right. And so I really like that they're not really holding back with that nearly as much as they would in a different TV show. I think it's really important to show how powerful Mark really is, and I think the only way to really do that is show all of the blood that he leaves behind, because in this episode there was multiple scenes where we would see Steven about to die in some terrible situation, and then we would see Mark come in, and we wouldn't actually see what Mark did, but we'd just see what he left behind, and we'd see Steven come back right after, but it would be crazy because everyone around him would basically be dead, implying that Mark killed a bunch of people. I know a lot of people watching this probably haven't seen these shows so far, so I know it's probably a little bit complicated and confusing, but I am sorry, okay? I know some people are just here to watch me play some Minecraft. I apologize that this explanation probably won't be good because the show is kind of complicated and I don't really know how I can explain it well without making it too confusing. But anyways, this show was so good, and not the show, I'm acting like I've already seen all 6 episodes. This episode was literally so good and I'm definitely not complaining. I'm really excited about this, and they've already introduced Khonshu, they've already introduced Mark, Steven. Overall, the show's just been so good already. It's only been out for 1 day and there's already so much hype around it, which is awesome. I'm so excited to see where this goes, and I'm so excited to see that there's like a lot of hype around this, because honestly, this is exactly what Marvel needed. We had Eternals, which was different, but a lot of people didn't like how different it was. A lot of people thought it was different, but not in a good way, and this is kind of completely different from normal MCU formula, but this is definitely in the right way. Now, one thing I do want to say is one of the biggest problems with MCU shows is that they start off very strongly, but they end up finishing off pretty weak, because the 6-episode formula that they're kind of forced to follow kind of makes it feel a little bit rushed, especially at the end. Like, episodes 5 and 6 end up feeling a little bit rushed, which really isn't great. But the good thing is that this show is really fast paced already, and they didn't really stall to show us anything. For example, in Hawkeye, we had to wait till like episode 5 to see Wilson Fisk. In Loki, we had to wait until the very end to see Kang, and in WandaVision, we had to wait until the end side of the show to see Agatha and who she really was, her being the witch. And I really like how Moonknight is kind of straying away from all of these MCU normal things and taking its own route and really being unique and completely going in its own direction and just doing its own thing. And honestly, that's probably one of the greatest things I could ask for, because this show has got me so excited for the future of the MCU, and I was already excited for the future, but especially like, and this episode's got me really excited for the show. And if the first episode was this good, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm so excited. There's gonna be so much going on in this show, dude, and only 6 episodes. I'm so like, oh my god, I'm so hyped, and I'm so excited to see how Moon Knight plays out in the rest of the MCU, because I don't feel like Moon Knight really has a place among the Avengers. And I don't mean that in a way that like Moon Knight isn't as good as the Avengers. I mean that like Moon Knight is such a completely different story, and it strays away so much from normal MCU formula that I don't know how they're going to implement Moon Knight into like normal MCU, but I'm sure they're going to figure out how to do it. They're doing justice to Moon Knight's character right now, which makes me really, really happy. And that's honestly great to see. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. All right, I did some research, and the actual disorder that Moon Knight has is a dissociative identity disorder. I really like how they went about Mark's mental illness, or I shouldn't be saying Mark, I should be saying just Moon Knight, because Mark and Steven are both part of the same body and the same mind. And not only that, but there is going to be more different personalities introduced into Moon Knight, which is actually really interesting. It's actually not just the 2 we've seen so far, which is like really, really cool. I really like how Marvel's gone about depicting this disorder and portraying it not really negatively, but as more as like a confusing situation. It's really important that the way Marvel goes about this is respectful to people that suffer from this type of disorder. So I'm really glad that Marvel is doing a really good job of that. Another thing I checked, the cultist leader type creepy dude, his name is Arthur Harrow. Basically, that's the guy that was like, I don't know, he was like fortune telling and determining people's like past, present, and their future by what kind of person they are and what type of life they were going to live. I found that character very interesting. I like how they got straight into his character as well. They didn't really make us wait whatsoever for that. That is like something that Marvel doesn't normally do, and that is like really, really cool. It's actually kind of awesome that they just got straight into it. I found the scene really interesting where Arthur Harrow was like tipping the scales really interesting, and how he was like seeing if people are gonna have good lives or bad lives, and if they were gonna have bad lives, just kind of killing them off. I thought that scene was really, really interesting, and I really liked how they portrayed it as kind of like creepy, and I kind of predicted what was gonna happen when he did the same thing to Steven. And basically he just said that Steven's world is full of chaos, basically implying it basically just means that Steven and Mark's life could just go anywhere, and it really wasn't set in stone, and anything could happen, and his life is basically full of chaos. It's kind of exactly what he said, which is really, really interesting. And oh my god, listen, this episode was a 10 out of 10 for me, okay? Normally Marvel TV shows, their first episodes are good, but they're not normally 10 out of 10s. I don't even know what to say, because I'm so pleasantly like, I would say surprised, but I'm not even surprised, because I knew this show was gonna be really good. I'm just pleasantly happy, I guess. I don't really know what the word is. I'm just happy that this show is really good so far. Oscar Isaac is doing like an amazing job with this character. I'm not gonna lie, like his acting has been top tier. Like Oscar Isaac is such a talented actor, and if you guys don't recognize him, you might know him from the Star Wars universe. His name is Poe Dameron, and honestly, the show has been so good already, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. I didn't really have too much to talk about, because obviously this is an intro episode, and it's only 1 episode, you know, they didn't do a 2-episode release. But with that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Moon Knight, and have a great day. Peace out, everyone. See ya.